Hello and welcome. Today we have several interesting stories, including one about an entitled woman who forcefully adopted her stepson and got pissed cause he doesn't recognize her. Sit back, relax and leave a like on this channel to support us. Today I messed up as I presented my boyfriend with his cheating partner on a silver platter. This story comes in parts. I, female 30, have a boyfriend of 3 years. We will call him Sam, male 33. And in the beginning, he lost his friends group because of a fight, so he was pretty alone, but that wasn't really a problem as we were happy to do everything together. Anyway, he was in the military years ago and sometimes talked about his time there and his buddy, which we will call Leo, male 30. I sometimes made jokes about their gayness for each other as they seemed to be really close. A few months back I wanted to surprise him and find Leo's contact, as I thought it would be nice if they could talk again as they lost contact over the last 10 years. I found him on Facebook and gave him Sam's email, and he was excited and thanked me and told me he would write him. Sam was super happy to hear from him and was excited to meet up with him. He asked me if I wanted to come with him, but I told him I could meet his buddy another time. They should use the time to talk and get to know each other again after all those years. Everything seemed cool and they sometimes went for beers or watched hockey games, and they got really close again. I was so happy because he seemed to be less depressed and actually went out again. I actually met Leo once when we all had breakfast together and he was a really nice guy. A month ago I noticed that they met up more often, and as happy as I was also a bit bummed because he had less time for me, but it felt selfish to tell him that, so I was happy for him. Then in retrospect I noticed that we had less lovemaking. Sometimes before we had lovemaking like 3 times a day, and sometimes we didn't do anything sexual for almost 2 weeks. With 2 full-time jobs and my health problem, it was always a weird schedule, but I noticed it got less and less. Usually, why he would initiate it more often than I did, but then I had the feeling it was always me who asked or tried to feel him up. Again, I didn't talk to him like I probably should have and thought, okay, he is working more hours, he is probably tired, and also depression is always a thing to deal with. Fast forward to yesterday when I wanted to take a picture of our cat who was sleeping in a super weird and funny way. I couldn't find my phone, so I used his. We were always super open about our phones and have the same passcode. And I saw a text pop up with kiss emotes and curiosity got the best of me. I opened it and it was Leo, who told Sam that he missed him and was excited about the weekend when they would meet again, and told him he had a naughty surprise. I was shaken and scrolled further up, and my fear got confirmed as they apparently have been sleeping with each other behind my back for at least a month, if not more. He came back downstairs, so I put his phone back where it was and didn't say anything. I was so shocked. I went to bed early and said I had a migraine, and he knows I then need darkness and no noise, so he went to the living room to watch a movie with headphones. I cried and cried and cried and felt so much anger. I brought this person back into his life. I basically presented him on a silver platter. But on the other hand, if it weren't Leo, who knows if Sam was sleeping with someone else? Did he do it before? Was our entire relationship a lie? I never got the impression that he wasn't happy with us. Our lovemaking was amazing. I wanted to marry this man and have his babies. I feel so sick to my stomach. I haven't talked much with him today, but I can still pass it up as my migraine. How do I even start a conversation about this? How can I compete with a man? Someone he has known for so long. Did they already sleep with each other when they were in the army? I am so confused and hurt and angry, and I just can't comprehend all this. I just need to get this out. Tomorrow I will think about what I will do. Also, I am sorry English isn't my first language, and I am sorry if this is all over the place and has mistakes. I am still bawling my eyes out. Original poster replies with an update. Oh wow, this blew up. So to answer some questions, as I feel so emotionally exhausted I can't reply to all of them, but I read all of the comments and I am super grateful for all of you guys. We did talk about lovemaking a lot and were very open, and we had anal lovemaking, but I didn't get the feeling that he preferred either to the other. I asked him if he wanted to try any butt stuff, and I ate him out once and did a little finger play, but he never demanded more or anything. I didn't think anything was lacking in our lovemaking life. I made an appointment for an STD check, but unfortunately, it is on Friday, and until then I have to wonder. I haven't talked to him about it yet. I don't think I can even start the conversation without breaking down and crying. But I went to my mom who recently had an accident, so my helping her out isn't even a lie. But I think he knows something is up as I haven't been as close and loving as I usually am. The messages were pretty clear. I get are a bit weird sometimes, and my friend circle is exactly like some people here said their friends were like. If you didn't know they were straight, you would absolutely assume they were gay. We live together and have at least another year on our lease. I might figure that out later, as I am currently trying to run away from my problems. I don't think I can stay with him even after we talked. Even if he would beg for forgiveness and I could find it in my heart to grant it to him. I just feel like he betrayed everything we were. He is my first boyfriend, the first person I put so much trust in after my family is always difficult and constantly disappointing me. I put my entire soul out for him and he crushed it. I feel like part of me is missing like a limb. I will update you once I talk to him. I can't run away forever, I know that. The final update. Okay, it seems I don't even have to start the conversation. He came to my mom's house and wanted to talk. He told me all about it, how he and Leo were experimenting while in the army, but it never really involved feelings. How when they first met again they were just buddies, but on a drunken night they started to fool around again and then started having sex. He said he is probably bi and that he feels super messy that he broke my trust like this. He promised me that Leo has been the only man he slept with and that there weren't any other women either. He also promised me they were always using protection. He begged me to stay together with him, to work on us. He told me he would cut contact with Leo and he would go to counseling, and would do anything. I told him that I still love him but that I could never see him the same way again. He isn't the person I fell in love with. I also told him that the foundation of our relationship is broken. How can I be together with a person where I constantly have to worry? Is he sleeping with the mailman? Or my cousin? The new neighbor? Or whoever? Maybe I am being unfair, but I have no trust left. We both cried a lot and I told him I still need time. I will stay at my mom's house for a while and then we will sort out our stuff. We already decided I will get Chico, our cat, and that he will help with whatever he can do. I feel broken. I still love him so fiercely, but how could I live with that? In my opinion, if you love someone with all your heart you wouldn't do things like this. I feel like I am grieving a dead person. My heart is so full of pain and I am devastated. Thank you to all of you guys for your kind words and helpful comments. I read all of them and I took some of the advice. I will probably walk away from this account as the constant reminder of what he did, and what people think about it doesn't make it any easier to deal with. Maybe I will update once I moved out and got all my stuff together. I am thinking about leaving the city. My company has a different branch a few cities over and I could take that spot. Would also come with a tiny payment rise. But it would be farther away from my mom. I don't know yet. Anyway, you guys all take care, and again, thank you. The top final replies. A relationship where you have to be a prison guard to make sure your partner won't cheat again sounds like hell. You can't trust anything they've said, because you know they happily lied to you before. And do you really want to do the work of rebuilding when you're not even married? You're not tied to this person, so getting out now seems like the best option. The second reply. The ex is a douchebag obviously, but dear God, so is Leo. Poor OP gets him back in touch with her boyfriend, something he's ecstatic over, and he repays that kindness by sleeping with him and blowing up her life? Don't get me wrong, it's the ex who is most at fault here and he is rightfully receiving his blame, but Leo gives me the ick too. The third reply. I'm a bisexual woman, out and proud since I was an early teen. I ended up in a monogamous marriage with a man. Monogamy is monogamy, period. Being queer is not an excuse to cheat. Having a sexual relationship with someone other than my husband is cheating. I'll always miss being with women, but I made my choice. It drives me crazy when I see queer people using their sexuality to justify cheating. Are you poly? Fantastic. Are you lying about cheating on your monogamous partner? F you. You're making the rest of us look bad. The second story. Am I the idiot for ruining English Mother's Day for my former adoptive mother? My former adoptive mother was also my stepmother. She and my father forced the adoption on me against my will when I was 7 because she couldn't have children biologically. My mom was dead and they felt like she deserved the official mother title and a place on my birth certificate. I never wanted it and begged them not to, but was ignored. They even lied and said Dad was sick to push the judge's hand because apparently with me saying no, they needed something that would make a judge think it would be in my best interest. So they pretended Dad was worried something would get worse and the judge decided it was safer for me. I never forgave them. I went no contact 7 months ago when I turned 18. I asked my maternal grandparents to adult adopt me to erase the original adoption. My stepmother is English and ever since I knew her she celebrated both UK Mother's Day and our Mother's Day. Around midnight last night, I made a Facebook post thanking my grandma for adopting me and being a great mom to me. I don't even celebrate the UK's Mother's Day, but Dad's parents reminded me about it and said I should post something knowing she would see. They weren't thinking of announcing the adoption thing. But that's what I did. Woke up an hour ago and she saw it thanks to other family members being friends with both of us on Facebook. I was told by an aunt that they were really angry and saying I'm an idiot because they had no idea I was no longer legally their kid. Am I the idiot? The first reply. Not the idiot. First things first, sorry about your mom original poster. It's a complicated thing to go through, and everyone handles it differently at any age. Even if it happens young and you barely remember, it can come back around and rear its ugly head. But really, what did they expect to happen to force a bond onto a child? And against the child's wishes? I'd understand perhaps if your dad was truly ill and worried something might happen, but even then, was she really the best/only option? Sounds like she's not. Mind if I ask how old you were when she passed? And how long was it between your mom's passing and your forcible adoption? Edit. The timeline is much too short. Original poster's dad decided his wife was a good match for him, then rushed the marriage and adoption far too quickly without considering original poster. Dad's the idiot for sure. The second reply. Not the idiot. I love all the people here going, but did they abuse you? Like, come on. Original poster's mother died. At 7, Dad's new wife can't have kids, so they force an adoption and lied to a judge to get it granted, which hello is a criminal offense. That in itself is abuse. The real question is, did they ever receive counseling on all this, especially for the death of a parent? Original poster's dad is the idiot just because he put his new wife's feelings over his son's. At 18 now, original poster made a passive-aggressive post on FB. Oh well, shouldn't have forcefully adopted him. She's hurt? Oh okay. Cause original poster wasn't hurt for the last few years. The third reply. Step-parents, regardless of their circumstances, need to think about what the child wants as much as what they think is in their best interests. If a child is literally begging you to not do something that you are only really motivated by a personal want to do, then maybe consider this isn't a better interests case and more I'm satiating my own ego case. Though that's hardly a surprise by a stepmom who celebrates both Mother's Days. I mean, really, there's no need for that. All in all, you haven't spoken to them since you turned 18 half a year ago. They had to know that was coming, and they were not entitled to know that your stepmother was officially demoted. They weren't going to receive a handout of love on a day they clearly didn't earn as it is. Especially given how apparently they spent those 11 years berating you for not magically getting along with their new status quo. Honestly, the dark hooded version of me wishes to remind you that the words, "finally a complete family," with a picture of you and your grandparents or maternal family might be a good Facebook post for US Mother's Day. The third story. Am I the idiot for ordering food when my children are asleep so I don't have to share? Occasionally when my 4 children go to bed, I'll order myself a little something from Uber Eats or DoorDash after a hard day so I don't have to share with the kiddos. Usually, since I'm always the first one to wake up, I'll put the packing beside the indoor trash can and take it out to the outdoor trash can in the morning. My children ended up waking up first that morning and seen the takeout food packaging and ended up waking me up asking me what I ate and if they could have some. I told them there was none left and I ate it all last night, thought that would be the end of it, but after I dropped them off at their dad's for the week. My children stay at their dad's house 1 week out of the month rather than just doing weekends. My children's father ended up spamming my phone with text messages accusing me of misappropriating my children funds he sends every month. My children's father gives me $100 for each child a month, which is $400 a month, which when it comes to it, it isn't much, but I'm fine with it because he usually makes up with it by buying the children what they need when an issue arises. For your information, nothing is court-ordered. I have a job as a daycare worker and use my own money I make myself to buy Uber Eats or DoorDash food. He also accused me of being a bad mother because I rather order food for just myself without thinking of my children who were with me at the time, and that I should have just waited until they were with him for the night. The top reply. You are not the idiot, not even remotely close. Dad should take them for 3 weeks and then revisit his silly thoughts. I guarantee he would change his way of thinking. Kids are endless pits. Endless. There are times I'm lucky to get 4 bites of food. When they're in the midst of a growth spurt, food feels like a luxury to me. Because I'm those spurts, my kids could or eat a sumo wrestler. My littles are, and always will be, my priority. However, sometimes us parents need, and deserve, a break. Original poster. You did absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing. Your littles ate and are well taken care of. You had a bad day and needed a break. You didn't eat in front of your kids. You did not deprive them of anything. Honestly, it feels like they were timed to manipulate Dad into taking them out.